This is it, folks. I'm at the point of no return. Sooner or later, it was going to happen. And it's better to start with Slay the Princess, released in 2023 by Tabby Games. It's a visual novel with a very simple premise. You are here to slay the princess. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. Probably. You're gonna tell me the fate of the whole world depends on my choices? Well, tough luck, buddy. Throw that knife out the window. Why did I decide to play this game? Because the voices in my head are getting louder, pushing me to make some regrettable decisions, like proving myself that I can review visual novels. And it won't stop with this one. The game starts in the woods, where you're immediately bombarded with 11 different choices. I knew this game was supposed to be good, judging by the overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, but I didn't expect that much freedom for roleplaying. You play as a bird-like creature, guided by the disembodied voice of the narrator. Being a professional hater of monarchy, he always tries to gaslight you into slaying the princess and saving the world. But how exactly is she supposed to end the world if she's locked away in the basement? Don't linger on the specifics. Here's all the evidence you need, so get in there and do what needs to be done. Whether you listen to him or not is up to you. After all, you are the one making choices here. Wait, is this another voice in my head? Yes, apparently our main character is a little schizophrenic, and the more you die, the more voices you will hear in your head. There are 11 of them in total, and each one represents a different personality trait or emotion. Sometimes you can even collect all of them, turning your consciousness into complete pandemonium. Depending on your choices, you will get completely different voices. Died pathetically to the princess, here's the voice of the broken. Question the situation around you, and get ready to hear the voice of the skeptic. He is the most reasonable, by the way. Do you like annoying the narrator by making the most irrational decisions? The voice of the contrarian is here to help. I hope you get the gist of it. If you play this game a few times, you will know which choices can lead you to one voice or another. The only exception is the voice of the hero, because he's the only one present from the very beginning. I like to think that he reflects our initial perception of ourselves as the hero of this story. You know, always trying to make things right, even if it's stupid. We've talked about voices, now let's move to the cabin. The only furniture here is some sort of table, a pristine blade, and a door to the basement. Wait, what did he mean by that? There is no mirror.
There's definitely a mirror.
Anyway, the princess. At first glance she seems completely harmless, but appearances are deceiving. In my first run, I genuinely wanted to help her, until she started biting her arm of the chains. That scene made me quickly reconsider my choice, so I tried to kill her, and sucked ass. She's stronger, faster, and apparently smarter than you, so your only chance of surviving is talking her down. I know the narrator always insists on killing her and saving the world, but I'm pretty sure he just wants to see me get slaughtered all over again. I guess it doesn't matter to him, as long as you manage to take her with you. The bitter truth is, you can't solve every problem with words. Sometimes you need to use violence. After all, it's part of your nature. Forget my previous words about the princess being stronger than you. I lied. You can kill her, and if you fail, skill issue. Try harder next time. But is resorting to violence the right choice? Can't we just resolve everything peacefully? If you don't want to kill the princess, you can always try to leave the cabin together. That's the main part. She can't live without you, so you will be repeatedly persuaded to help her, or else your internal organs will be lying on the floor. Whatever decision you make is up to you. Just don't expect the narrator to silently watch as you try to doom the entire world into oblivion. Gameplay. As you already know, Slay the Princess is a visual novel, so prepare to read a lot of text. Is that bad? Well, apparently yes, if you have the attention span of a goldfish. But don't worry, I gotcha. Here is Subway Surfers gameplay to saturate your dopamine receptors. In all seriousness, I'm tired of people who neglect visual novels because they don't have gameplay. Meh. Who's gonna waste time on reading in 2025? My brother in Christ, it's definitely more than just reading. You're not a passive spectator, you make choices, and by doing so, influence the story. Not to mention the voice acting if the developer has enough money to afford it. But does every choice really influence the story? Or is it just an illusion to make you think so? Well, yes and no. My initial happiness about the large number of choices we get in the woods quickly faded away, because none of them really matter. Well, none of them except one, where you refuse to go to the cabin and get a bad trip. Overall, you can just silently continue to the cabin and save your time. The same goes for the mirror. You can wipe it clean as much as you want. The final result won't change. It's simply not there. The first princess you encounter in chapter 1 is basically a piece of clay. Every choice you make in the cabin molds her into one of 22 different vessels, like Furry Princess, Chernobyl Princess, Giant Princess, and my favorite, Muscle Mummy. In one playthrough you can collect only 5 of them, unlocking completely different stories. By the way, my condolences to everyone who on their first run decided to leave the princess alone in that cabin. I don't know why, but for literally killing her, you get a less scary vessel, cute even. But the moment you step out of that basement, she goes completely insane. Also, why do I keep using the word vessel? What is she? Some kind of vase? No, vessels, or the gift of a fragile vessel, are nerves and fibers to fill the worlds beyond. They are all different perspectives of the shifting mount that she uses to learn more about herself. Basically, all those hands that steal your princess at the end of the chapter are her. She just comes to collect a vessel shaped by your choices. Look, the game is filled with all kinds of philosophy and abstractions, but I'm either too tired or too stupid to explain it. And honestly, not that it matters much in the grand scheme of things. It's just a narrative choice to make story look more mysterious. The only thing you need to understand right now is that you're in a time loop. Each time you die or finish a chapter, everything resets and we are back in the woods with a new narrator. Oh, and you can finally see yourself in the mirror. The shifting mount is an eldritch god, but she's incomplete. By bringing her 5 different vessels, you can help her awaken to her true nature. That's why, after a quick talk, she makes you forget the conversation and sends you back into a new loop to bring her more perspectives. By doing so, both of you can become whole again. That's cool, but how does that work in game? Very simple. If you try to make the same choices that unlocked her previous vessel, you can't, because the options are grayed out. I know it might seem strange, but think about it. What's the point of bringing her the same princess when she asks for different perspectives? That's why each vessel you meet in your playthrough is different, because your choices are never the same. But what if you refuse to go back and wait with her forever? Well, then she'll just turn off your game. That's some Doki Doki shit right here, and I like it. Of course, you can keep holding your ground and waste your time doing nothing, but that's just boring. Let's talk about the branching system instead. Slay the Princess has a lot of routes. I already said that each decision you make in the cabin affects the princess. For example, if you take the blade in the first chapter, you'll interact with the harsh princess. She will be more cautious and even refuse to talk with you until you drop your weapon. If you don't take the blade, you'll get the gentle princess. She, on the contrary, will be more cooperative and nice toward you. Each of them has their own unique set of interactions and second chapters. Think of it as 2 points, A and B. Choosing point A, you automatically lock yourself out of routes with point B, and vice versa. That's how the pristine blade affects your game. Of course, nobody forces you to take the blade or not. You can get the harsh princess in your first route, then choose not to take the blade in your second route, and get the gentle princess. After all, you need to bring the shifting mount 5 different perspectives, so don't be afraid to experiment with your choices. As for chapters, generally the game has only 3 of them for each route, with a few exceptions, where your earlier choices can lead to chapter 4 or chapters without numbers. Once you collect 5 vessels, you are once again placed before the mirror. It's time to learn the truth. You are the Long Quiet, a vast and nascent god. A long time ago, you and the shifting mount were one being, until some man, terrified of death, decided to tear the cycle of life and death into 2 physical entities, in a vain hope of saving his world from oblivion. The narrator, no, the echo of the dead man who was once the narrator, trapped you and princess inside the construct. Effectively, it's a prison that exists in every world at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought your yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both you and her into a new world. But it's no longer working as intended, because both of you are awakening to your true nature. Now it's time to make the final choice. Whether you reject your godhood or join her as a new god is entirely up to you. After spending almost 30 hours into this game, some voice lines are engraved in my memory, so if anyone wakes me up in the middle of the night, I'll confidently tell them, the blade is your implement, you will need it if you want to make things right. The visuals in this game are extremely beautiful. Every background and sprite was drawn traditionally with pencil and paper by Abby Howard. Many times I got distracted from reading, because some scenes were so good that I had to put everything aside and take a screenshot. As much as I enjoyed Slay the Princess, I have some critiques. I know it's subjective and you might disagree with me, but I have to say this. The roots aren't made equal. After unlocking every vessel, only 3 of them were really interesting to me. And you know the worst thing about all of this? I saw them too early, so it was painful to watch how each following story paled in comparison. My favorite route is, of course, Adversary, specifically for 2 big reasons: extreme violence and poetry. It was fucking beautiful. Happily Ever After is, without doubt, the most emotional story in this game. I still remember very vividly those strange feelings when I started to slowly realize what's going on. The perfect example of how imposing a selfish desire on someone turns life into nightmare and suffering for both. And finally, The Princess and the Dragon. If you ever wondered what it's like to be the princess, congratulations! Here you can finally see things from her perspective. After finishing this story and seeing who we were playing as, I don't think I can ever judge the princess for killing us. Remember all those happy roots where you leave the cabin together? Yeah, she clearly puts a lot of faith in us, because this little bird looks like a fucking demon of the size of a room. Also, the music here was something else. I enjoyed every second of it. Don't get me wrong, the whole soundtrack is top-notch, but this song is definitely my favorite. Nightmare aside, the game isn't scary. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, I laughed more times because of some dialogues than felt uneasy. Come on, this scene alone, where you give Princess the look, left me in tears. So I guess you can call it a comedy? I don't know. Anything, but definitely not a psychological horror. While I was playing through the game, I kept wondering, does the world the narrator keeps talking about actually exist? All those people who will die if the bad princess breaks out of the cabin? The short answer is yes, but the game never shows them to you, nor tries to evoke even a bit of empathy for them. Why should I care about people I've never seen? Why should I save the world by spending the rest of my life in some shitty construct made by an echo? Sorry, but I can't sympathize with a character who is clearly delusional. His fear of death is so strong that he can't comprehend that slaying the embodiment of change won't solve anything. An eternity of nothingness, filled with a hollow and unfulfilling existence. That's the world he tries to create. But hey, at least nobody's dying. Honestly, the more you understand what's happening in this game, the less sympathy you have for the narrator. We know the reason why he created this construct, where you and Princess are trapped in an endless cycle of violence. What remains unclear is how a mere mortal managed to split the cycle of life and death into 2 beings. It was never explained in the game, and probably for the best, because things are already overcomplicated just for the sake of it. That's why I didn't want to dig into the abstractions of this game. I mean, what's the point if in the end everything boils down to narrator bad, princess good, now kiss her and leave the cabin? I've played a lot of visual novels in my life. Some of them were complete garbage, some of them criminally underrated, and Slay the Princess is neither. It's a great game that got its deserved attention. The endings are okay, I guess, but the mini stories you get with each vessel are far more interesting. Although, it would be nice if our choices somehow affected the endings. It's kinda sad, because the only notable change you can see is related solely to the princess's appearance. Overall, the game is a solid 8, but I will give it 1 more point, just for the amazing voice acting made by 2 people. Nicole Goodnight, voice of the princess,
Oh, Daddy? Sorry.
and Jonathan Sims, the narrator and other voices in your head.
I'd like to see her try. We're in.
Both nailed it, but I want to thank them specifically for the voice acting during the endless fight with Adversary. I take my hat off to you guys. That was absolute cinema. In summary, don't slay the princess, romance her, show her the look, or even your heart. It doesn't matter, anything to make her fall for you. Because after all, this is a love story about two eldritch gods and one man who was very afraid of death.
You're on a path in the woods. No, fuck that. If we're gonna have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods every time. We're starting in the fucking cabin. She's not insane, is she? No, she's just right. It's all been the same. The whole time, it's all been the same. We never had a say. I don't know, screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis.
Yes, I told you I'd be back.
But you know who is armed? You. So stop second-guessing yourself and do your job. But I'm nervous. We are the predator now. There is nothing to do but embrace our true nature.
Little bird, where do you think you're going?
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. No, my love, you did nothing wrong. I'm sorry, not you. Life is suffering, and we will feel every inch of it, and we will persevere. No steel claw, though. Was tossing it the only thing we've done that was permanent? That's a sick joke, universe. A sick joke. You're on a path in the woods. I can't believe she actually stabbed us. Yeah, screw hard work. I guarantee you that anyone who's anyone has done nothing but take shortcuts. I'm sorry, are you crying? Is she crying? Are you two not? That was some goddamn poetry! Do you think we can throw her out the window? You know what? I should have tried to intervene earlier because I can't let you do that. I won't. Tough shit. We're the ones in control here. It's not the... Yeah, doesn't feel nice to be yanked around against your will, does it? Well, boys, how does it feel? We're not just on top of the pecking order, we are the pecking order now.
An eye for an eye, a life for a life. I guess we're even now. See you around.